I want to give Darvin Ham all the chance in the world. I'm happy he got this job. I'm supportive of it. My trepidation came from the fact that he's a first-year coach and the stuff that we were hearing about how the Lakers organization interfered with the coaching. Now, to their defense, they categorically denied this. They didn't tell Frank Vogel you had to play a player and you couldn't play this player. You had to sit him down and you had to give him this amount of minutes. They didn't do all of that. That's what they say. Others say otherwise. With all of that being said, Darvin Ham is a former player. He's a rough rider. You ain't going to push him around. You ain't going to intimidate him as a player. He's not scared to get in anybody's face and tell them what they need to hear in order for the betterment of the team and ultimately the positive outcomes that you're looking for. To answer the question directly, I believe if LeBron James and Anthony Davis are healthy, the Lakers could go to the playoffs with those two guys. My reservations are extremely deep about Russell Westbrook in this system. I think that Russell Westbrook is the kind of dude you got to give the ball to and let him do whatever it is that he does that has made him a perennial all-star and a future Hall of Famer. To work within the concept of a team run by LeBron James is extremely more difficult. And so him being at that press conference yesterday, actually to me, I didn't like it. And the reason I didn't like it is because, yes, you're still a member of the Lakers, but we all know everybody's been talking about what the Lakers need to do when it comes to Russell Westbrook. He's entering the last year of his deal. He's getting $47 million. Will somebody take him? Well, okay, you're going to keep him. How are you going to fix what happened last year? This is the issue. I don't like when people. I'm being careful about what I say, guys, just so you know, because Russell Westbrook is the kind of guy that when you say something, he thinks it's a character issue. Like you're getting at him, and I have to explain this on several occasions. Ain't talking about Russell Westbrook, the man. I think he's a good brother. He's got his heart in the right place. There's nothing about his character to smear. He can't shoot the ball well. He's not the greatest point guard as it pertains to decision-making. He turns the ball over. And now he's been struggling to reach 68% for the free throw line. So when you take all of those things into consideration and you see what you've seen from the Los Angeles Lakers last year, I think as long as LeBron James and Anthony Davis are healthy, you can overcome it enough to be a playoff team. But that's about the height of my expectations for the Los Angeles Lakers.
So you said a random take, and then you explained a bunch of things about Russell Westbrook that had nothing to do with that take. And so I want clarification on this.
Sure.
What is your issue with Russell Westbrook being at that news conference?
That's a wild thing. That's a wild thing for you to say. Him supporting his team, his organization, his coach, a fellow African-American man that gets hired by the Los Angeles Lakers.
Don't go there.
That's not you're saying, this is what you said.
But no. But see,
you said that
you're crossing the line when you bring up another African-American man. That's not where I'm going with
you
that. I'm
said
talking
that
about the Lakers organization discussing trading him.
What does that got to do with him?
Well, what I'm saying, no. What are you talking about? What that has?
You said him going to the press conference. You're disappointed.
I'm saying.
Run the tape. We got a tape. That's what you said.
Stephen,
the
please
Lakers
explain.
organization has been talking about moving Russell Westbrook. They're talking about trading him. My point is that this guy, there are question marks as to whether or not he's going to be a part of the team. That's all I meant by saying.
Right now he's on the team.
I understand that.
And that's his new coach.
Okay.
For the time being.
Do you want to take back that statement?
No.
I feel you don't want to take it back.
No, because I didn't mean it the way CJ
You
is trying to
said
interpret it.
Even if you didn't mean it the way I said it, you said that he shouldn't have been at the press conference, which is foul.
I said I did not lie.
He should have been at the press
First of all,
conference.
it's not foul.
I'm saying for him to not show up, but he's in the city.
I'm not faulting him for being there. I'm saying the Los Angeles Lakers are trying to move this dude because last year was so uncharacteristically awful. You got people that think he's done. I don't believe that. I believe Russell Westbrook's got a lot left in them. But clearly the Lakers have some trepidation about it. Talk to the teams around the league, and they'll tell you the trepidation that exists around Russell Westbrook. So if you're talking about moving this guy, remember he was supportive of Frank Vogel as well. Then he's sitting there at the end of the season saying, I don't know what the hell happened. You know, I was good. I was good to this guy. I was supportive of this guy, et cetera, giving off the impression that there was expectations that came with it in terms of it being reciprocated. So now I don't want to hear that when it comes to the new coach, Darvin Ham, because Darvin Ham is coming in there to coach the team to the best of his ability. What level of expectations do you have then? What level of reciprocation are you having then because you support the new guy coming on board? I'm talking about it from the standpoint of a Lakers organization that has taken the position that they've taken, albeit privately. And I'm saying, excuse me, when I see him at the press conference, it gives the impression, okay, are you keeping him here? Is this guy a part of the team for this upcoming season? Are you no longer talking about moving Russell Westbrook? I'm thinking about it along those lines. That's all.
So you're not thinking about it from the Russell Westbrook standpoint, because essentially what you're saying, because Russell Westbrook was essentially being a professional by showing up to the press conference.
I was talking about the Los Angeles Lakers and the supposed relationship.
That makes this better because the way it came off to us. And
I just wanted clarification.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.